Lamborghinis roar down the street, private jets soar across the sky. You see the gleam of success, the tangible rewards of a life lived on top. But what about the other side of the coin? The stacks of unpaid bills, the tired faces staring at the clock, the soul-crushing monotony of a life spent chasing paychecks, never dreams. Let me tell you something you won't hear from those financial gurus peddling quick fixes. You're not poor because you lack money. You're poor because of these 5 invisible traps, psychological patterns you didn't even know you were stuck in. These traps are insidious. They whisper doubts, they cripple your potential, and they keep you locked in a cycle of financial frustration. But I'm here to tell you, there's a way out. In this video, we're diving deep into the trenches of the human mind, exposing these wealth-killing patterns, and arming you with the tools to break free and unleash your true financial potential. Let me show you 2 different worlds. In the first world, people clutch their money tightly. They hoard every penny, constantly afraid of losing what little they have. These are the people who see a sale and think, I can't afford it, even if it's something they need. They live in a world of lack, of limitation, of never enough. Now step into the second world. Here, people approach money with a sense of flow. They invest confidently, they give generously, they create boldly. They understand that money is simply energy, and like all energy, it needs to move to multiply. This is the world of abundance. The difference? Mindset. Poor minds believe there's never enough. They see a finite pie, and they're terrified of not getting their slice. They hoard, they fear, they hesitate. This scarcity mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Rich minds, on the other hand, operate from abundance. They see a pie that's constantly expanding, with infinite opportunities to create more. They see opportunity everywhere. While poor minds say, I can't afford it, rich minds ask, how can I afford it? Don't underestimate the power of this shift. It's not about denying reality, it's about changing your perception of what's possible. Picture this. The alarm clock screams. You drag yourself out of bed, rush through traffic, and spend the next 8 hours or more tethered to a desk, trading your precious time for a paycheck. Sound familiar? This is the time for money trap, and it's the reality for millions. Poor minds trade time for money. They clock in, clock out, every hour tied to $1. They get a raise, they work harder, the cycle continues. They're on a treadmill, running in place, their financial freedom always out of reach. Rich minds understand a fundamental truth. Time is your most valuable asset, and they don't trade it, they leverage it, they build assets. They create things that make money while they sleep. Businesses that generate income, content that educates and inspires, investments that grow exponentially. You only have 24 hours in a day. That's it. Everyone, from the billionaire to the struggling artist, has the same amount of time, but here's the difference. Your ideas, your businesses, your investments, they don't clock out. They can work 24/7, generating wealth even while you sleep. Stop trading your life away hour by hour. Shift your mindset, break free from the time for money trap, and start building assets that work as hard as you do. Chapter 3. Fear of Failure. The silent killer of your dreams. Let me tell you a secret. Rich people fail. In fact, they fail often. The difference is, they don't let fear paralyze them. They see failure not as an end, but as a stepping stone on the path to success. Think of any successful entrepreneur, any athlete, any artist who has reached the pinnacle of their field. Do you think they got there without facing setbacks, without stumbling, without falling flat on their faces? Of course not. Their journey is paved with failures, with lessons learned, with the grit and determination to get up, dust themselves off, and try again, only this time smarter and stronger. The poor mindset asks, what if I fail? They focus on the potential downside, the risk, the uncertainty. This fear becomes a self-imposed prison, keeping them trapped in mediocrity, too afraid to even try. The rich mindset asks, what if I learn? They understand that failure is feedback, it's data. It's an opportunity to refine their approach, adjust their course, and come back even stronger. Fear of failure is a poverty trap. Rich people fail often, and fast. That's how they grow. Poor minds avoid risk like the plague, clinging to the illusion of safety and security. Rich minds calculate it, embrace it, and take the leap. Chapter 4. Instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Are you playing the short game or the long game? We live in a world of instant gratification. Want something? Click a button, and it's delivered to your doorstep. Craving a dopamine rush? Scroll through social media? Binge watch a show? Get lost in the endless cycle of instant gratification? This might feel good in the moment, but it's a recipe for financial disaster. Poor minds crave the dopamine now. The shoes, the fast food, the weekend vibes. They prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term gain, sacrificing their future wealth for a fleeting moment of satisfaction. Rich minds understand the power of delayed gratification. They're not afraid to sacrifice today for a bigger payoff tomorrow. They plant seeds now for a harvest later. They invest their time, energy, and resources in building a future that's bigger, brighter, and more abundant than anything they could experience in the immediate present. Think about it. Poor people live paycheck to paycheck. They're constantly chasing the next dollar, never able to get ahead. Rich people, on the other hand, live strategy to strategy. They're playing the long game, making calculated decisions today that will set them up for financial freedom tomorrow. Chapter 5. Blame versus Ownership, the key to unlocking your financial power. Have you ever noticed how some people always have an excuse? The economy's bad, their parents didn't support them, the system is rigged against them. They blame everything and everyone else for their lack of financial success. This is the victim mentality, and it's a poverty trap. Rich minds take ownership, even of what's not their fault. They understand that true power comes from taking responsibility for their circumstances, for their choices, for their lives. They know that if they want to change their financial reality, they need to start by changing their mindset. It's not about guilt, it's about control. You can't fix what you won't own. When you blame others, you give away your power. You become a passenger in your own life, at the mercy of external forces. But when you take ownership, you step into the driver's seat. You acknowledge that you have the power to change your circumstances, to create your own opportunities, to build the life you deserve. Outrow, break free from the traps, unleash your inner wealth. These 5 traps aren't just thoughts, they're chains. Chains that bind you to a life of financial struggle, of unfulfilled potential, of missed opportunities. But here's the good news. Chains can be broken. The rich weren't born different. They just thought different. They developed a mindset of abundance, of possibility, of unwavering belief in their ability to create wealth. And now, so can you. It starts with awareness. Now that you know these traps exist, you can start to identify them in your own life, challenge your limiting beliefs, and replace them with empowering truths. It's time to step out of the shadows of scarcity, fear, and blame, and into the light of abundance, courage, and ownership.